First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Racha Kodesh. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And today we're going to go into the book of Revelation, the 10th chapter. So this is Revelation chapter 10, verse 1. And I saw another mighty angel come down from heaven, clothed with a cloud, and a rainbow was upon his head, and his face was as it were the sun, meaning that it was very bright. So remember that John, as he's receiving these visions and he's seeing these things, he's describing, what he's actually seeing, right? It says here, and his face was as it were the sun, and his feet as pillars of fire. So they were very bright. And he had in his hand a little book open, and he set his right foot upon the sea and his left foot on the earth. And the book that was open is the scriptures, right? That little book that, remember, in Revelation, the 5th chapter, that book was sealed, right? It had writings on the front and the back, but now it had been opened, right? The Lamb had loosed the 7 seals. Okay. So it says here, and he set his right foot upon the sea and his left foot on the earth, and cried with a loud voice, as when a lion roareth. So when basically that's like what he's doing is he's making a comparison here, right? His voice was so loud, it's like when a lion roars, and you hear that loud roar. And when he had cried, 7 thunders uttered their voices. Now these voices uttered by the 7 thunders were actual, like voices. They were just very loud. Because it's not like he was just hearing doom, doom, da, 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 thunders. Because if that was the case, then how would verse 4 make sense? And when the 7 thunders had uttered their voices, I was about to write. Write what? Sounds? No, he was about to write what they said, the things that he heard them say. And I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, seal up those things which the 7 thunders uttered, and write them not. Sealing it up means that you keep it secret. So the things that the 7 thunders uttered, only John knows. We don't, all right, because he wasn't allowed to write that down. Verse 5, and the angel which I saw stand upon the sea and upon the earth lifted up his hand to heaven. All right, so he sees his angel. Now this angel lifts up his hand, as it says, up to the sky, and he swear by him that liveth forever and ever, who created heaven and the things that are therein, and the earth and the things that are therein, and the sea and the things which are therein, that there should be time no longer. What that means is, remember, at this point, the 7th seal has been loosed, and then you had the 7 angels with 7 trumpets that were sounding. So this is now these what you're seeing is what John is seeing these angels do is correlating to events that are taking place on the earth, i.e. what you would call end time prophecies. Okay, so this angel, what he means by there should be time no longer, meaning time is basically up, right? At this point, you would be the closest to the completion of all the events that needed to take place to fulfill the Lord's ultimate plan. And that plan is fulfilled when all dominion is given under Yahushai, when those that would be made his footstool are actually under his feet. And that's why when you go into the latter ending of the book of Revelation, it concludes with America's destruction and Yahushai's return. So reading this here in the NLT, it says, he swore an oath in the name of the one who lives forever and ever, who created the heavens and everything in them, the earth and everything in it, and the sea and everything in it. He said, there will be no more delay. Okay, that's why in the beginning, in the 1st chapter, I believe, Yahushai said that the things that were revealed to John were things that must shortly come to pass. Verse 7, but in the days of the voice of the 7th angel, when he shall begin to sound, the mystery of God shall be finished. So that mystery goes into his plan, right? The things that he has set, all the events that need to take place to complete that story. When that last angel sounds, it will complete it all. And he hath declared to his servants, or as he hath declared to his servants the prophets, because these were all prophesied beforehand by the prophets. They received it as visions in different examples, different analogies, different time periods, but it was all mainly about the same thing, the same plan. It's like watching different teaser trailers of a movie before it comes out, and in each trailer you get a little bit more insight from a different point or a different perspective than the other trailer, but it's all trailers for the same movie. It says here, when the seventh angel blows his trumpet, God's mysterious plan will be fulfilled. It will happen just as he announced it to his servants, the prophets. See? Then shall it be known that a prophet hath been among them. And the voice which I heard from heaven spake unto me again and said, Go and take the little book which is open in the hand of the angel which standeth upon the sea and upon the earth. And that little book, remember once again, that was sealed is now open. So that access, of all the mysteries was now, we would now be able to gain that. Remember, John wept. Why did John weep in Revelation, the 5th chapter? Because no man was worthy to loose the seals thereof. But now Yahushua haven't done that. That's why in our time, like the elder Apostle Tahar made mention of, we now have more understanding than the prophets of old, because we have the open book. It's no longer like a book that is sealed and is delivered to one, and then you say, read it, I pray you, and he says, I can't because I am not learned. Or you deliver it to another and he says, I can't because it is sealed. None of that. We are now learned because we're taught of the Holy Spirit, right, as Yahushua said, and now the book is open. Right, so it says, Go and take the little book which is open in the hand of the angel, which standeth upon the sea and upon the earth. And I went unto the angel and said unto him, Give me the little book. And he said unto me, Take it and eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey. And eating up the book, meaning consuming the contents of it. All right, this is mental. So what this visual here that we're reading symbolized us having the complete knowledge now. Now, keep in mind what's going to be told to John as we get to the latter verses. But the reason why this book was going to be sweet in his mouth is the reaction that you have when you first, like, for example, when we first hear of this knowledge, right? It sounds good. It sounds sweet. There's a lot of things you didn't know. You're just newly waking up to it, and you just want to know more and more and more. Oh, we're the Israelites. Oh, God's true name is this. And, oh, what God shows in people. And this is going to happen. The blessings and the this and the that. But then the bitter part is once you've tasted it, and then it starts to go down and you're digesting it, that's when, no, the kingdom is not coming in 3 days. All right. All hell's not going to break loose just because you just came into the truth. Now, you know what I'm saying? Like, now you got to, endure. You got to go through the discipline, the dread that the discipline of wisdom brings upon you, right? You got to go through being abased. You got to go through, not being appreciated in this world. You got to go through all the other parts that come with the scripture, the actual trying. You got to actually now run the race. See, for example, I'll give you an example. You have people, let's say you run track, and then you qualify or you make it into the Olympics, right? What's happening there is you're happy and you're joyous, right? Because you made it, you got the opportunity to be able to run in the Olympics, but it doesn't mean you automatically won. You still have to actually run the race. And let's say it's not a short sprint and it's like a 400 meter or an 800 meter. That's tiring. Okay. So running the actual race itself, even though as excited as you were when you first got the news that you qualified, running the actual race is hard. Okay. It's hard. And that's like the bitter part. Okay, I made it here, but now comes the nerve-wracking parts, the making sure that you're on point, doing the best you can, because this is, For some people it might be it might be a once in a lifetime opportunity. Okay, so that's likened on to eating it up and it being sweet in your mouth and then bitter in your belly. But what did John do? Right? And I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it up, and it was in my mouth sweet as honey. And as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter. And that's what I just explained is what this symbolizes. And then what was told him after he ate the book? And he said unto me, thou must prophesy again before many peoples and nations and tongues and kings. Now, John, at his age, on this island, there is no record of John going when after he received these visions, going and prophesying again before many peoples, nations, tongues, and kings. So when would this happen? In the reincarnation, meaning John would come back on the earth again at an appointed time. You know, when the cry would be made, when the Lord would put the spirit of revival back into us, and we would wake up and have this knowledge like we are doing now, and he would have to prophesy again, except now he would be prophesying with 100% truth. Why? Because now he had eaten the book. The book that was sealed before was open. He was able to eat of it or get access to it, and now with that access, what did he do? Let's get one precept real quick. I believe this is Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter. Yep, Ezekiel 3:1. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, eat that thou findest, eat this roll. And this roll is also talking about the scriptures. Just like in Revelation 10, it's a book. In Ezekiel 3, it's a roll, like an actual scroll. It says, what? Eat that thou findest, and go and speak to the house of Israel. You see, that's what comes next. Once you eat this, right, with your mind, you learn it. The next thing is to go and teach it. So after John was able to eat the book and get access to the contents of it, he would then have to come again and prophesy. Now with all the contents that he had access to, you know, through the spirit of Yahushai. And that brings us to the end of the book of Revelation, the 10th chapter. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Recha Kodash. Until next time, Shalom.